Hello everyone, this is Michelle from Michelle's Craft Cottage. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in South Carolina. And if you're here, please say hello. I am going to be doing a fun fold card tonight. Unfortunately, my printer would not connect to the internet tonight. Actually, since this afternoon. I've been trying it all afternoon and for the last half hour before I came on. So I'm going to have to read it. Hopefully it'll let me read it on the side here. Yep. So we're going to be doing that. I am focusing on the paper for Waterside Retreat. And one of the stamps, today is your day, for relaxing Waterside. That's part of the suite. And I will be, hi Marilyn, I will be using mostly paper, okay? So if you're playing along with me, please let me know. Hi Nancy, good evening. If you're working along with me, please let me know so I know to check to see if you're okay every once in a while. Okay, so like I said, I don't have the written directions because my printer is, I guess it's on vacation or something. But clue number 1 says to fold and burnish all your score lines. So we had one at 3/4 of an inch, one at 3, one at 3 3/4, and one at 6. Okay. So I'm going to burnish these, make sure they're straight. You're playing along? Good. Thank you, Vesta. You're just watching Nancy, okay. This one is a fun one. It's really kind of quick to make. I don't know, watching from Hagerstown, Maryland tonight. My granddaughter's birthday was yesterday. Oh, how old is she? Tony says hello and shared, doing 2 lives at once. So we'll make the card at some other point. It's not hard to do, so it won't be hard for you to do. Okay, so that is the end. And if you weren't here when I said it, my printer decided it did not want to go on the internet tonight. So I'm reading it off my the side of my computer here. Okay, so clue number 2 said center and adhere the 4x4.5 DSP on the top section. So the top section is going to be this long section. Okay, so let's adhere this one. And you might notice mine is a little bit shorter because that's the way this paper was. The original one I made is 4.5, and I'll show you that after. But this one is only 4.25, I believe. But it works, okay? Because I really wanted to make this beach card. Okay, so I'm going to center and adhere this. Did everyone have a good weekend? Oh, I'm familiar with Hagerstown, Maryland. Hagerstown. I've been through there, never stopped. We go to New Hampshire and Connecticut and all that a lot. So we go through, and sometimes we stop. She was 9 on May 3rd. Grandson in Pennsylvania was 9 on May 1st. Oh, wow. Two grandchildren's birthdays, huh? I got one coming up next week. The 15th. Okay, so I'm going to, with my crooked eyes, that's the best it looks crooked to me. She's in Frederick, Maryland. Ah, That's a nice area. Okay, that is the end of clue 2. Number 3 says, okay, so you're going to make a box with these folds. You got the 3/4, the 3, the 3/4, the 3 3/4. So we're going to make a box with this. So that last, which was your first score line, is going to attach to this back right here, okay? So what I did was I put glue on it and then flipped it this way, or you can flip it this way, either way, okay? So put your glue on this 3/4 inch strip. Is my volume good? I just turned it up if it wasn't good. Okay, so you lay it down flat and then you close this. And then it will adhere and make you a little box. And that's how it stands up. Okay, so I'm gonna push that down one more time just to make sure that it's well adhered. Okay. And to mail this card, you're gonna be able to fold it up like this. Each of my 3 children had at least their last child on October 20th, 31st, and November 29th. Wow, all in a row like that, huh? Lucky you. It's almost as bad as Christmas. My son's birthday is March 9th. His daughter's birthday is the 6th. And his wife's birthday is February 29th. So they're all within a week of each other, less than a week of each other. So yeah, they got big celebrations. Your volume has been pretty good and with your new equipment. Thank you, Nancy. Okay, so that's the end of number 3. You could use liquid glue or tear and tape, whatever you wanted to use. Okay, clue number 4. Center and adhere the 2x4 piece of DSP. Okay, so that's going to go on the top of the box. And you can lay that down so it'll make it easier to center and glue. Okay, so center this best you can. Get it centered, and then I move it. Is Mason-Dixon line a name of a town or a city? Or is that the Mason-Dixon line you're talking about? A little heavy-handed with the glue tonight. Separates Maryland and, oh, it separates Maryland and PA. I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought the Mason-Dixon line was further south than that. Huh. Learn something new every day. Every day. Okay. So that is my little boardwalk. And now the next clue, number 5, says center and adhere the 5/8 by 4 1/8 DSP, and that's going to go on here. Now, you could do anything on here. You didn't have to continue this, the card stock, the DSP you could have just put a card, a piece of cardstock, whatever color you want, and put a sentiment on there. I chose to continue the pattern, excuse me, because I thought it looked more beachy. Okay, so center and yeah, this DSP really makes this card. I could do a purple background and this DSP would really make it look beachy. Yep. Oops. Okay. So now this is what you have. That's what you would see if you were sitting it on a table. Okay. I think it's adorable. Okay. Now it says add ribbon if desired. I do desire, because we got that gray one that we had, and I've decided I want to put it on the front here. Now again, this is what I'm doing. If you want to make this card at a later date, you can put a sentiment there and not put a ribbon. You could put a ribbon and just a piece of cardstock, whatever you choose. I chose to continue with the DSP. I don't know, is that going to be too much? I think sometimes I waste way too much ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to choose to do a knot. Okay, I'm going to put this down to make it easier. I'm going to find a pair of those tweezers that you got to push to open, so I could put it on here to help, so I got another finger. I gotta find some somewhere, but I don't know what to call them, so I haven't been able to look for them. Okay. The in-laws were in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia before they passed. Oh, West Virginia's so beautiful. Nancy, do you know anything about the blue people from Pennsylvania? Oh, look at that. Vesta was born there. Vesta, you too. Do you know anything about the blue people from West Virginia? Their skin was blue. Nancy was born there. Oh, no, that's okay. That's Vesta. Okay. Small world is right. Now that is cute. You don't know it, Nancy? You either, Vesta? Huh. Well, I read a couple books several years ago. Well, I would say probably 3 years ago or so, 2-3 years ago. And it was about, the name of it was The Bookkeeper Woman, I don't remember the exact name. But it was a true story about how there were some people born in that area that had blue skin. And they kept to themselves because people would stare at them and all this and it's a fictional story written on true facts, okay? And then there was a second one called The Book Woman's Daughter, and I read that one. And now they just came out with a new one, or it's just coming out in May. It's continuing that. No, I think it just came out. I think I just downloaded it. It's continuing that story about the blues. So apparently, I might have to make another card using that this DSP. Yeah. So anyway, their skin was blue, and a doctor takes them. The young girl, Cussie's her name, takes her, and they do all kinds of experiments to try to figure out why their skin is blue. So, but it's very fascinating. So I did some research after I read the first book, and then the second book I did some more. But yeah, it's actually in the hills. You know, people that live in the literally live in the hills. That's where these people were. Okay, so this says audition your fussy cuts on this back portion. Okay, so whatever you've decided to use, you fussy cut. I decided to use a bike, and I fussy cut it, and I've got some white spots which I don't like. So I'm gonna rub the edges with the pecan pie. But you're going to put your fussy cuts down in this area, or wherever you'd like to. So I am going to brush the edges so the white doesn't stand out so much. I tried as best I could to get really close to the image, so I didn't have to, so I didn't have any white, but there's only so much you can do. So I'm gonna just cover it over with pecan pie, or pecan pie, depends where you're from. This is a good way if you don't get really good cutting, when you're fussy cutting. It's a good way to hide all those little imperfections. Tone down that white a little bit. Okay. And then I like to go in here a little bit too, because I don't want that to show so much as a white. And I couldn't get in there to cut that out. So anywhere there's white, I try to do that a little bit. And I think it brings in a little bit of what might be the background. So it kind of tones down that white a little bit. Up here as well. There. I think it looks much better that way, but it's your own preference. Okay, so the next one says audition your parts, your fussy cuts or your ephemera on the large DSP section. Once you like your placement, adhere using liquid glue and or dimensionals. Dimensionals also gives you leverage or heights, so it's good to use some, glue down some, and dimensionalize. I'm dimensionalizing my whole bike. Okay, and then I'm going to take some small, I had one I already cut. Oh, there it is. So I am going to just do some small slivers for the back of the bike, like the handlebars and stuff. And the body of the bike. Perfect. Doesn't show on the front. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a half of a small one over here. Took my top's off, so now I'm sticking to it. And the other half is going to go, okay, it does not want to come. The other one's going to go over here. So it's not showing on the other side. Nope. And I think that's good. So now, if you're going to put these towards the bottom, make sure you don't put it down so low that when you close the card, it interferes. So just kind of hover right above, just above the, oops, it might help if I take the rest of them off, huh? So just hover just a little above that little landing, if you want to call it that. Get them all? There. Okay, so just kind of hover right above it. Don't press it too hard in case you got to move it. So I'm just going to put a light touch to it. Get my finger unstuck. And see if that closes. No, I'm hooking. So I got to go up just a little bit more. Come on. There, that's better. Okay, so I got my bike on there now. Isn't that cool? I just love that. Okay, next one, number 8 says, embellish as desired. Now, I'm finding it hard when I did my prototype. I was like, I just don't know where to put an embellishment. But I think I need one. So I'm going to put, I think that would look stupid there. I don't know, maybe I'll put it up here. Yeah, I'm just putting one on because I want the scene and the bike to be the focus. I don't want the embellishments to be the focus. I don't want to pop your tires. Don't want to pop your tires. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, don't want to pop the tires when we close it. Okay. And I forgot to put, oh no, I skipped number 7. Take your 4 and 4 by, oop, I didn't cut mine right. Where's my ruler? I skipped that one. Let's do American. So this is 4 1/4 by 5. So let's do 4 3/4 by 4. I think I cut one way, but I didn't cut the other way. Yeah, because that's already 4. By 4 3/4, I said. Okay. And that is going to go, thank you for sharing your design, Shelley. Good. I'm glad you like it. So this is going to go on the back so that you can write your sentiment or your message or whatever. And again, I didn't want to put my sentiment. Oh, I do have a sentiment. Hold on. I do. I don't want to take away too much from that scene on the front. So this is not my idea. I saw somebody did something similar to this. My paper and the papers I use is totally different. But I just thought this was adorable. So I want to do Today's Your Day. So I'm going to do that in brown. So that's from that relaxing water side, yeah, Today's Your Day. And this might be a little bit too big for this message, but it was sitting on my desk, and I said, you know what, I'm going to use it. So you could put that here. You could put it in the center. You know what, I don't want it on here. I'm going to stick it on the back here. I'm going to stick it on the back because I don't want anything to interrupt the card. I think it's just too pretty and too peaceful looking to put the sentiment on the front. So I'm going to put this on the back. There. Okay, and that is my card. Isn't it cute? So let me show you my prototype. So I made the paper go a different way, the same way that that these were going. In this case, it was nothing here, so I just added it the other way. But I did the same idea as this, only used different paper. And I chose to use white to kind of keep all that whiteness together. So that is the prototype and the card from tonight. What do you think? Cute card. Thanks for sharing. No problem. I love it. I love having you guys. See, now I did the edges on this one, but not as much as I did on this one. Is that a bird up there? No, it's glue. Oh, I could have put birds on too, huh? There is my eraser. But yeah, that is your card for this week. And I'd love to see your cards when you make them. I don't know where my eraser went to. I'll do that after. Okay, so that is the end. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoy your fun fold card. Please be sure to say hello, share, comment, thumbs up, whatever you want to do. And I will see you next week, right? Is next week the second Tuesday? So probably not. It'll be the following week. Okay, thank you everybody. I want to see your card, so please be sure to share. Thank you very much. Have a good week. Bye-bye, everybody.